Hey, welcome back to the Skitch on Wheels channel. Today we're going to tackle a problem that affects most enduro and dual sport riders. And this is a part of the motorcycle that's very weak, and that's the tail section here. You can see how flimsy it is. A lot of times this will break off if we drop the bike or we do a whiskey throttle. Well, I got a fix for you. We got a product. We're going to tidy this up, make it look a lot better, and it's going to be indestructible. Hey, I'm excited to show you a product today that a fireman and fellow Hoosier created. He sent me this a couple of days ago, asked if I'd try it out, have it a look, and if I thought it was a good product for the DRZ4S to go ahead and do a video on it. And I actually do. I think it's very worthwhile to take a look at this. Now what it is, it's called a Flexi Fender, and it's a mount for the rear of the DRZ4S. And we all know we haven't had a lot of products for the DRZ4S. He's a fellow rider, he also owns the bike, and he's put this through a lot of testing, and it's going to eliminate a lot of the excess in the rear end there, and it's really flexible too, so it should help our bikes out some when we drop it or we crash, which we're all going to do at some point. Maybe it'll save us a few dollars on the back end. I will say, full disclosure, he did send this to me for free, and if you go to the description in the bottom of the video there's a link. If you use Sketch 10 and order it through that link, you're going to get a 10% discount. And I do get a little bit of commission on the back side of that, but that helps grow the channel. And for any of you that don't like going to websites but would rather go to Amazon, I am going to create an Amazon link that you can see in the description as well. You're not going to get that 10% discount. I think what you gain from Amazon is if you're in a remote area and you worry about shipping, they can always find you. But if possible, go to his website and you're going to save a little bit more money. So let's go through the specifics of this. Let's give it a test and let's try to tear it up, to be honest with you. If I can tear it up, it's not going on my bike. If I can't tear it up, we're going to put it on the bike and we're going to see what it looks like. So let's go into a little bit more detail about what this Flexi Fender is. So what this is, this Flexi Fender, it's made of a flexible TPU, which is a rubber-like compound, durable plastic, highly resistant to abrasions, oils, and chemicals. And some other key features is that it uses all OEM mounting points and bushings. So all these holes line up exactly where they need to on your DRZ4S. And the other key feature to this is you don't have to cut any wiring to your lights. So everything is pretty well. Just mount it and hook everything back up. It looks to be very durable, so it's been tested on the trail a bunch. Let's go see if we can't destroy it. I don't know what else to do to it. I don't know. It took 4,000-pound Toyota FJ, which is 2 tons, and didn't phase it a bit. The only thing I haven't done is try to set it on fire, but I'm not going to do that. Hopefully our bikes aren't burning, but this is going to fit right up under there. I'm going to take all this off. We're going to put the Flexi Fender on, and we're going to see what it looks like once it's on, because I know it's strong enough to do the job now. I got this just in case I need it to figure out how to take this off. So let's get this apart. So we used a number 8mm socket to take the side panels off, and I'm going to use a number 10 socket underneath this to be able to unloosen this with an 8 Allen's wrench. So I just took out this Allen's right here. We're going to have to take out 2 here under the fender as well. So I've taken out that Allen's right here, top of the fender. And then we're going to move down, and I'm going to have to take out this one and this one. And they look like they're a number 6 Allen's. We'll have to check. So actually it's a number 4 Allen's, and we've got 2 of them under there. So we must have one more connection. Oh, we got a couple down here. Okay. So these bolts right here are a 10mm. So you got to use a 10mm wrench on that one, and the one back here on this side. I'm going to leave that there for now. There's no reason to take it all the way off. I did decide to take those bolts out back here just to get this out of the way a little bit more. So now let's attack this rear end. Now, according to our manual, we have 2 bolts with some fasteners here, one here, and then we have 2 bolts, one here, one here. So on the bike, one of them's here underneath the subframe here. Here's one, and then the other one's on the other side of the subframe. So once we get those undone, I think this should drop out. Let's give it a try. So these 2 here and here are pretty easy. They're just a 10mm wrench. So now these are going to be a little bit harder to get this wrench up in there. The regular wrench wouldn't work up here, but I had that number 10 socket, and it'll go right up in there, and then it's easy. There we go. So now it's a matter of just disconnecting some things. Let's have a look. This electrical wire has a little tab here. You just pull that, push that in. So you're disconnected there. This I'm not so sure about. We're going to have to investigate that. But right now we're free with this taillight. So let's see if we can't get that taillight out. Let's go ahead and take these screws here out. I think that's going to pop this plate off. And I think that's where this wire here is going in for this little taillight here for the license plate. Kind of like I suspected, we took those 2 bolts out right here. This comes out, and that's our connections right there to our little taillight and turn signals. Okay, so we're just going to pop that out, pop that one out, and red is going to be left side, black is going to be the right side turn signals. Next up, take this bolt off and this bolt, and let's take out the turn signals. Another important bracket is this one right here, and those 2 screws. So make sure you save all these things. So this has got that little bracket right here, which is back here. And we're going to pull that through, and there it is. We've almost got this apart. Let's move on to the turn signals. So when it comes to taking these turn signals off, the best way to do it is to actually hold on to the turn signal, and this is a 10mm nut here, and just break it free like this, because that bolt is actually part of the turn signal. And everything comes out. So the last thing, let's get this taillight here off. Then we might be done, and that's just a, right now that's just a screw right there, and 2 up here. All right, got all those screws out. Maybe pull down a little bit on that. Okay, good, that all comes out. Push these through and pull them out. We got 3 of those. So that's factory. That's stock right there. yeah, that's going to bust. That's got hardly any flexibility to it. It's going to eventually break. So let me get the Flexi Fender and let's take a look at the size difference. So we've got this that was stock. And then we've got this going this way. That's the Flexi Fender. So you're losing all this here. I am going to go to their instructions, that QR code for this one, because that was a lot of stuff we took off there, and it somehow fits all back in here. So let's go have a look. Just in case you're not like me and you like to follow the directions the way the supplier is giving them to you, we got a QR code here that you can put on your phone, and then you'll download some directions. And there you go, and there's our directions. So we can see that these are a lot of the parts that we took off our bike, the DRZ4S. And then here it says step 1, transfer rubber bushings. So we're going to put those rubber bushings back into place. It looks like we've got the 3, and then there's the one long one together. Step 1 completed. 1, 2, 3, 4 rubber grommets. Grommets are bushings. Step 2, install the brake light. And you can see we've got these 3 posts, and we've got 3 spots here for it. And then the light goes through the center. And these you just push through. There we go. Perfect. That was easy enough. Now let's go put those 3 screws in. Step 3, install license plate tag light. So we do use that little bitty tag light. So again, there's that grommet with those 3 holes, and that lines up with these 3 posts. So we're going to put the wire through, and there it sits. And then we put that metal plate here and put 2 screws on. So there we go. That's the little license plate light. That's put on. This is what it looks like here. Now the really nice thing is that I didn't know if these had washers or not behind them, because I'm got so many nuts and bolts over there and I didn't keep them organized. But if you look here on the instructions, scroll over here to this step, step 3, there it is. He's showing you exactly what you took off and what to use again. So that saved me. So now we're ready for step 4, install tail tidy to bike. Shows us exactly what we need. This is what we have to mount to the bike. We've got these 2 bolts here, and this is one of those bushings. Try to take it out so you can see it. We take that Flexi Fender and we mount it right up here. So you know what I discovered? I mean, shoot, this thing's flexible, right? If it's tight, just bend the thing out of the way. You're not going to hurt it. We proved that. So last up is install the turn signals. And of course, we're using Loctite on the bolts too. That's what's recommended. So we got the Flexi Fender on, and right here's where the turn signals are going to go. So the red end is your left turn signal. So we're going to feed this through. And we've got 2 pieces here. This part goes to the back, and then we have this nut here. So we're going to feed that through. Put the back plate on, and then I'm just going to thumb screw this just to get it started. There we go. We'll come back and adjust that, tighten that in just a minute. Now for the right side here, we've got the black end. So I'll go put that on the other side. Probably the most tedious part of this job is going in with this 10mm wrench back here and finding between these wires and tighten that bolt. So we've got both these turn signals back on. Now it's just a matter of doing our connections. I went ahead and got the tail light done. Remember, red goes to red, that's your left signal. Black to black is your right signal. And then the white one is your license illumination light. Time for a test. Let's turn it on. Good, we got tail. Let's see if we have brake. Got brake, let's go left, right. All right, looks pretty good. So before we get the fender back on, I'm going to show you before I trim these. I've got a zip tie here, here, one here, and one here. That puts everything back into this. Pretty drastic here when you look at the difference in these two taillight assemblies. The stock version is a lot of plastic. It's huge, it's big. It's actually an eyesore, to be honest with you. And then we've got the Flexi Fender, which is nice, small, compact. Basically what you're looking at the back of your bike is, instead of all this plastic, you're going to be looking at just the taillight and the turn signals and the little license plate light and your license plate. So if you want to get rid of all this junk with this, it makes sense to me. Plus it's really durable. There's nothing that's going to break that, I don't feel like. When you crash, drop your bike, whatever you do to it, I think it's going to survive. There you have it. We got the Flexi Fender installed. I think it went well. It was fairly simple installation. It looks good too. I think it looks great on the bike. And then also the durability, we kind of proved that as well. So if you want to save 10%, don't forget, go down in the description, click the link, and then put in Skitch10 on their website, flexifender.com, and you'll save 10% when you order one of these for your DRZ4S. Now I know they have other models coming out too for some other companies possibly, or some other different Suzuki lines. So keep an eye out for those as well. And yeah, I'm very pleased with this. So do me a favor, if you got some information from the video, I want you to hit that subscribe button if you do that for me, please. And then we'll catch you in the next video.